All right, bit of a productive weekend. Uh, Show what we did here. We ran our brake lines for the rear axle. They're in the interior of the car because fuck it. And it makes it a lot easier for making a mount for where the hard line goes from the soft line. And now these were on my 200 decades ago before I went with Ford Windstar brakes on the back. And yeah, they're just going to go in there. It goes to a little hard line stubby and that. I may cut down the stubby hard line or find a male to male adapter and get a longer line. It's not a big deal because I believe that's dash 3 JIC. Might be wrong. That brings us to the second thing we did this weekend is we've got our hard line fuel section ran. Um, yeah, it goes up to the front. I think we made a video on it. But yeah, now it's mounted in here. Um, yeah, we've got these adapters that go from the hard tube to a compression fitting, so you can just go right onto the tube there, much similar to like an airline one, but it's meant for hard tube. A feed and a return, obviously, and then it goes to dash 6 JIC. Now for up here, where it goes up across, I'll have to install that and make all the mounts when the subframe's out, which is getting closer and closer as these lines and the brake lines there. Those were kind of the big things under this car to finalize that really been giving me a lot of trouble because how low they're going to go on the car. And that's why we made this piece. Originally, it's going to have a bolt on. That's why it's got this tab that comes off. But kind of was like, well, fuck it. You know, when am I going to take this off? When I crash the car? Oh, fuck it. I got a zip cutter, a plasma cutter. We made our holes. So, I mean, we can undo the screws and the bolts. And then we can cut these off here. I mean, I bent them by hand here. So I'm not too worried about not being able to get them in the right orientation or in one shot. But yeah, now the fuel lines are pretty much protected by 16 gauge steel, so I feel a lot better about it. Now this is gonna get probably a lot better welded and finished off, but we'll do all that once all this shit everywhere is out of the car and it's just kind of a shell, and we can weld away. We have no subframe in the way or anything like that, and that's coming, getting closer and closer. But onto the brake lines. So yeah, we went and got those. Couldn't find my 3/16 bender. I only have next size up, so 3/8, 5/16 and a half inch. But it doesn't really matter too much. But as it has that spring outside, so it doesn't collapse on itself. But yeah, kind of ran it there. I mean, it's a little bit awkward with those two humps, but I mean, who knows what the interior of this car is going to be like. It may just be painted, or fuck, it may even just be left like this with some seam sealer on it. But yeah, it's probably going to be just kind of like a fabric cover or something over most of the stuff. And yeah, enjoy its roughness. But yeah, we can always make panels and stuff at a later date. And then yeah, I'll show you. I made that original cover on the front, but that didn't work out too well. But yeah, it's in there. It's tacked in, and again, we can just cut the welds and then put new ones in if we have to. Uh, these guys we tapered off to a 45-degree angle, so SAE, and then we'll get a 5/16 SAE to dash 6. Reason now I'm going back to my braided hose is one, I have a shit ton of it. It's old, but it should still be fine. And I have enough to run what I need to. Obviously, we're going to have to put some sort of filter, pre-filter, pre to the pump, and then a post-filter or pre-injector. But we'll figure that out as we get there. Might just spend the money and go get one that has ANNs, or I may go and get the one I had originally off the car, which was a fuel gas station nozzle one, which was the proper 10 micron. And I think it's 10, or is it 100? I always get the micron ratings mixed up. But yeah, we'll get one of those possibly. And yeah, it's a really cheap way for just a disposable fuel filter that's massive. so your flow isn't limited. Not that it matters on this. But yeah, I'm rambling. Anything you want more detail on, put it down below and I'll try to get back to you. But yeah, we're pushing forward. But yeah, smell you later.